Good morning everyone. I welcome you all to this session on Python. Myself Parminder Singh. I'm working as an IT faculty at SPIC since 2009. I have over 15 years experience in teaching and software development. Here I teach Java, machine learning with Python, and RPA using UiPath. I have developed some desktop and web applications that are being used by SPIC and other clients. We are going to start learning Python, one of the growing technology. I will tell you why, where and how Python can be used. But before we start with Python, let me tell you about our organization first, that is SPIC, SPIC Center of Excellence, that is under the aegis of Department of Information Technology, Chandigarh Administration, which was established in 2001 to implement the IT policies of Chandigarh Administration. Our office is based out in Chandigarh IT Park, where we have a campus spread in 1.5 acres area that is next to Infosys building. SPIC has a mandate to implement e-governance initiatives like Sampark centers, computerization of various government departments, providing IT and HR consultancy services mainly to the government departments of Chandigarh and Haryana. SPIC also plays a very crucial role in creating a talent pool for IT industry, under which we provide various training programs on latest technologies which are being used by the IT industry. Python is one of them. So now I'll tell you about Python, but before Python we need to know what is programming language or coding language. As you all know that Python is a programming language, we need to understand what is programming language. Programming language is basically coding language used by programmers to write instructions that computer can understand to do what the programmer wants. Every programming language is set of words and rules. By using words of language and by following the rules, we can write instructions that computer can understand and perform some task. And set of those instructions is known as a program. The motive of every programming language is same, that is software development. But what matters is that how fast, efficient, reliable and powerful application can be created using some particular programming language. So to improve the development process and overcome the problems of existing languages, timely new languages were developed like C, C++, Fortran, Pascal, etc. All these languages were good enough, right? But with changing demands of industry, there was need of language that could be used to create rich functionality applications in minimum time. So keeping this aim in mind, new language named Python was created. So Python, it is a high level, interpreted and object-oriented programming language. Python is designed to be highly readable. It uses English keywords frequently, whereas other programming languages use punctuations. The syntax helps the programmers to express their concept in few lines of code when compared to other programming languages like Java or C++. Python offers much more structures and support for large programs. Python allows you to split your code into modules that can be reused in other Python programs, right? And Python comes with large collection of standard modules. You can import those modules and reuse the code, right? Python enables programs to be written compactly and readably. Programs written in Python are much shorter than C, C++ or Java programs, right? It is interpreted. Python code is processed at runtime by the interpreter. The interpreter executes the code line by line at a time. This makes debugging easier and suitable for beginners. You don't need to compile your program before executing it. And it was developed by Guido van Rossum at National Research Institute for Mathematics and Computer Science in Netherlands. Python laid its foundation in late 1980s, and its implementation was started in December 1989. These are list of versions of Python. 3.8.3 was released in 2020. and the latest version of Python that was released in June 2021, and the version was 3.9.6. Okay. Scope. Python has a broad scope because today it is being used in various areas of computing areas, like in gaming development, machine learning, big data handling, and GIS applications. So it has big scope. Now, there are advantages of Python. That's the reason that it is getting popular day by day. So first thing, simple and clean syntax. Python has few keywords, simple structure, and a clearly defined syntax, and it is more readable. Portability. Python's application can be used on different platforms, different types of hardware, without making any changes. So that is portability, right? Okay. Automatic garbage collection. Python performs automatic garbage collection when an object is not required. It automatically destroys the object and reclaims memory occupied by that object and put the memory into available memory slot. Huge library. In Python, we have a broad library, collection of classes and methods. If you want to perform some specific task, you do not need to write code. The Python providing a huge library that has classes. You just need to create objects of those classes, call the functions, and get the job done. Then it supports many databases. You can access popular databases like Oracle, MySQL, Microsoft SQL servers. So Python supports a range of databases. Python also supports multi-threaded programming. Means you can create an application that can perform multiple tasks at same time. Like today, we all are using WhatsApp. When we open WhatsApp application, we tap a contact and we tap multiple images. So WhatsApp starts downloading all the images at the same time. So that is multi-threaded application. So in Python, we can create multi-threaded applications. What Python can do? Using Python, you can create desktop applications. For developing desktop applications, Python provides tkinter, wxPython, and pygui such frameworks. So using these frameworks, you can create really amazing applications using Python. Python can be used on servers to create web application using Django framework. Tornado is there, and so many frameworks are there. Python can connect to database systems. It can read-write files. Python can be used to handle big data and perform complex mathematics. Python can be used for extracting, cleaning, and analyzing data. And the syntax of Python is very clean. Now, in the slide, I have created a small program. Let's say you are writing a program in Java. You have an array of 10 elements, and you want to check existence of X or X element in your array. So for that, in Java, we write loop. We iterate through entire array and compare with every element. That's the way we can check existing of an element in an array. But in Python, it is very simple. Like in this slide, in part code 1, I have created a list, and in this list, I want to check existence of printer. So I have written if printer in sold items, then print printer found, else print not found. So it is very neat and clean. Filtration is very simple. Right? So that's the reason that beginners can easily develop applications using Python. Now, installing Python, you can install Python using the Python distribution unit that can be downloaded from python.org. Right? You can download Python, or you can download Anaconda. Why? Because if you download Python setup from python.org, that setup will install core Python on your system. But you won't get modules or libraries required for data science or machine learning. For that, you need to download all those modules manually using pip utility. But if you download Anaconda and install that, Anaconda installs core Python and all necessary packages or modules required for machine learning, as well as Anaconda installs popular editors. So Python has many editors. There are so many editors for Python, right? Here we have some of them: Jupyter Notebook, Sublime Text, Spider, and PyCharm. These are popular IDEs for Python coding. If you do not want to install Python on your machine, what you can do, you can use online platforms for machine learning and data science. Microsoft's notebooks.azure.com has hosted Python and all other modules. You can manage, create, and manage your projects on cloud, and Google's Colab can be used for same purpose. Now, Python's library. Python is getting popularity because Python has many libraries which help us to read data, clean the data, analyzing data, and presenting it in form of some information, good information. So Python has 4 popular libraries: Numpy, Pandas, Matplotlib, and Scikitlearn. These are which are commonly used. Apart from these, there are so many other libraries. Numpy, that stands for numerical Python. It is a library of multi-dimensional array. We can create an array using Numpy, and after creating array, we can filter the data, we can perform some mathematics, we can perform some stats operations on stored data. Numpy provides much functionality, but after some time, developers found that there are some functionality missing in Numpy. Then another module was introduced, that is Pandas. Pandas is an open source Python library which is built on top of Numpy. That means Pandas internally using Numpy. Pandas provide high performance, easy to use data structure. Pandas is used for data manipulation, analysis, and cleaning. Pandas is derived from 2 words, that is panel, data. Panda has 3 data structures: series, then data frame, and panel. Matplotlib. Matplotlib is Python's library that is used to present data. Data visualization can be done using Matplotlib. Matplotlib provides many functions that can be used to produce column charts, bar charts, pie, line charts, scatter chart, any type of chart you can produce using Matplotlib. Then Python also provides a library named Scikitlearn or Scikitlearn. It is a free machine learning library for Python. Scikitlearn provides a range of supervised and unsupervised learning algorithms via a consistent interface. The library is focused on modeling data. If you want to implement some machine learning algorithm, you do not need to write code from scratch. You can simply use Scikitlearn library. Scikitlearn library has many functions that can be used to create a model to solve some machine learning problem.